dry. The wind is blowing towards the causeway into the ground to which the Eagles are kicking will favour them to the tune of about 2 goals.
John Worsfold won the toss and elected to kick right to left. Schwass gets it for North Melbourne. It's pretty congested in the middle. Crocker, number 27, good to see him back. Lewis loses control of it. And there's a bit of bumping and shoving going on right before the first bounce. And I don't think there'll be any love lost between your two former teams here, Ross.
No, I don't think it will be, but let's hope it's a good game. A very late change too with North. Ben Buckley in, Ross Smith out.
That's Hetty on the outer side battling after that one. Pike's over the ball, number 10. And we've got a whistle. So Buckley in the side. Spargo has started in the 18. Was involved in that pushing and shoving just after the bounce down.
Well, we've got a breakaway game for us.
Well, I think North have got a lot to go for tonight, and I think it could be their game.
Hetty once more away to Lewis. Down towards the pocket inside the attacking 50. Martin did well, fisting away. Worsfold against the boundary line. Can't keep it in. And it will be thrown in.
Something behind play too there, Dennis. A North player down. Could be Buckley looking at him.
Did not see what happened there. So a throw in. McGrath goes after it. Fairly dragged off it. McGrath's hand pass, not a particularly good one. Spargo surrounded. McGrath's got it. A centering kick. Calling for assistance for that fallen North Melbourne player. Meantime, Martin's got the run of the ball out towards right half back and boots towards centre wing.
Good contest here between Crocker and Main Waring. Crocker has the height. Main Waring will take the free kick. And a bit of a push out too from the Little Eagles, number 3.
Through that player going off is Ben Buckley. Looks like he might have hit a hand or a wrist.
Yes. Jogging off the ground with the trainer, so it doesn't look terminal just yet at this stage. North Melbourne out of defence through Smith. Awkward bouncing ball for Scholl. Gallagher diving at centre wing takes the mark. Both these teams have played a lot of night football and have excellent records. And who would have thought that North have won both the games between the Eagles and North at the WACA ground. Defensive mark taken here by McKenna.
Centre half back. Plays on. Waterman towards midfield. Wilson in front. Fisted away by Roberts. Taken by Rock. Scholl. Across the ground. Intelligent kick. It bounces obligingly for Carey. Lays it off to Spargo. And now Crocker. A long way out from goal. Hoisted high down towards the pocket. Longmire almost. Rushed across the boundary line by Pike. Well, John Longmire did the hard work there. Used his body to get rid of his opponent. That's a terrible break. Pardon the pun on Jim Buckley there. Or rather, Ben Buckley. Meantime, Dwayne Lamb out of the congestion. Gets the ball away to Main Waring.
And the Eagles out of defence. An unusual injury there to Buckley. From that, it wouldn't appear as though it was a clash with another player. It was just way off the ball. Nobody saw it. Up towards centre wing. Hand pass back from Matera. On to Barrich, who's back for his first game for the Eagles for a couple of years. Up short of the 50. Larkin, number 9, the North skipper, delivers a 25-metre hand pass. On the run is Spargo. High kick to the 50-metre line. Off hands to Lamb. Caught by Ramiro. It comes now to McKenna, and he gets clear. No score as yet. Guy McKenna's kick to open space centre wing. Bouncing ball for Worsfold. On the turn, up towards centre half forward. Good tackle applied. No, a North Melbourne free kick. It's going to Larkin, and the advantage played, and away he goes. Up towards Carey. It misses him, and the mark taken by McCarthy.
McCarthy, about 70 metres out, goes very wide. Carey's got the run of it, close to the boundary line, twisting and turning. Carey in a tight situation, gave it away, but Irving couldn't hold the mark. Should have. Let's go down to John Rogers now for news on Buckley. Well, hopefully, no news is good news. There's the throw in. Irving. McCarthy had it socket away by Lamb. Good use of the body by Barrich. Put Spargo down. Crocker and Lamb tracked the ball across the boundary line. Just outside the 50.
North, a high-scoring team last year, mainly because of John Longmire being the leading goal kicker with 98. The Eagles, a great defensive team. Hart gets the hand pass away. Here goes Peter Matera. Running and bouncing down the outer wing. The kick is a low zoomer towards half forward. Well gathered there by Fairley. Roberts, blind hand pass. Crocker, caught by Matera. Spargo, been prominent early, even before the whistle blew. Umpire comes in and is going to ball this up. And you'll notice the crowd build up here because with a pretty early start, by the time people leave work, perhaps go home, get the family and come back, we're promised that every seat is sold, but still a lot to be filled yet. Larkin puts it out wide. Spargo again. Carey, who was fantastic last week in a losing side against Essendon. 13 marks he took to full forward. Longmire sandwiched. Can't get the second grab at it. And the Eagles whip it away through Lamb.
Out wide. Turley's got the run of it. Larkin closing. A little look-away hand pass was slick. Worsfold, low pass, very low, along the ground to Wilson. Roberts backhands it out and is penalised. Free kick to the Eagles, left half forward. Pops it up in front of Sumic coming out on the burst. Fisted away, a double fist from Martin. Down goes Romero. Lunging hand pass away to Roberts. Back it comes to Martin. High floating kick. He tumbles it back towards midfield. What a jostling down there. Brennan won the battle of the bodies opposed to Carey. Only as far as Fairley. Pushed off the kick. It spills out wide. And Spargo in everything at the present time. Relishing his comeback from left centre wing. Goes down inside the attacking 50. Big pack into the air. Opportunity now for the Eagles. Brennan thought he was pushed in the back. No free. Doesn't matter. The Eagles control the ball. Mainwaring away to Hart. He's got Storms up through the middle. Intended for Sumic. Drifting across in front. Almost taking the mark was Worsfold. This is Hetty in the grasp. Got it to Worsfold. It comes to Sumic now. Floats one down towards the kickoff line. Larkin, good use of the body. Leads back in the race. That was clever. And he's prepared to concede a behind.
Both sides matched up very well. Sorry, Drew, they're doing very nicely. Bit of pressure there. Kick coming down. I think it was actually McGrath who pushed that ball down forward. But some good use of handball to get that ball quickly down to their full forward line.
Well, the first score of the game, a rush behind, taking about 7 minutes. Mark Roberts, who's been around. Sydney Swans, Brisbane Bears, now North Melbourne. Short passing to Fairley. Martin's out at half-back flank. Fairley goes longer. Ruckman contest. Knocked away from Gallagher. Down to the front. McGrath's hand pass in. Irving. Lost it. Crocker. Well done, McGrath. Getting it going the Eagles' way. Turley, well played. Oh, great stuff. Subterranean hand pass out wide. Worsfold under pressure. Ball and players out of bounds. It's a free kick to North in the back. And last man up, who's played well this season, Jeff Chandler.
Chandler from half back towards centre wing. Irving uncontested. Good use of the body on the ground by Brennan. Kept Carey, a good aerialist, out of the contest. Irving missed kicks across the ground. Favours Roberts, who was edged under it by Wilson. He's got pace. One would suspect too much for Roberts. Good shepherd from Hetty. Wilson 60 metres out from goal. 2-on-1 situation. North Melbourne should do best here. Crocker, but it spills behind a Lamb. Far too casual, North.
Oh, the ruck knock won by Irving, but taken away out of the middle by Gallagher. His Mainwaring getting back in defence. Gallagher's followed up. Top play by him. Just gets boot to ball. North a big show here. Rock in the forward pocket. Clever kick back towards the goal square. It bounces through the pack, but it comes to Hart. Feeds out the hand pass. Now back to Hart. From Waterman. Centre of the ground. Oh, top mark Crocker. Now Wayne Schimmelbusch would have whipped North Melbourne up this week after a disappointing display against the Bombers. The Eagles have the first two scores, 1 goal, 1-0. Here's a mark to Carey. Dishes off the hand pass to Spargo. North's best to date. Goes for a long shot for goal. It's got plenty of distance. Oh, what a mark! Not paid to Allison. And the ball out of play. Seen them paid for less than that.
It's Michael Brennan having a bit of problem there with Wayne Carey, centre half forward. David Hines was named there, but he's on the bench. We see that mark attempt again by Allison. Pike just pushing the ball out. Perhaps could have been paid.
I think so. There's the boundary throw in. Gallagher gets it behind. Hart off the ground towards centre half back. Worsfold goes again up towards the centre of the ground. Well played by Stevens. Spargo knocking up, getting possessions. Long telling kick from 55 metres out. That's a beauty. It's a goal.
Good in Perth during the week. And in a couple of days they had the average April rainfall, but fine, which is a rarity for a Friday night. This comes to Turley. 65 metres with a mighty kick. Martin, good mark. 2 number 4s will be a bit of fun tonight.
Sumich is trying to bustle with Martin. That's Martin's forte. Sumich has to lead more. The disposal coming from centre be a bit more accurate.
Kick by Michael Martin. Over half back to Gallagher in front of Irving. Irving taps away to Mainwaring. Romero will have to lift after last week. He's held when not in possession. Take the free.
So Romero and Rock are 2 players from last week, particularly on-ball players that need to lift. They've done quite well so far.
Romero towards centre wing. Carey at the second attempt is paid. It's a fine player. Still very young. That was the attacking 50. McCarthy on the lead. Good kick, good lead. McCarthy kicked some goals last week. Goes in short. Longmire too easy.
You can see them too, Dennis, that kick. He knew Longmire's leading to the space. The other North players moved out to give Longmire that gap to run into. And McCarthy, almost before Longmire had led, just dropped that in short.
This for a 5-point lead. It's close. Misses to the right. It's all tied up. Just under 14 minutes remaining till quarter time. Crowd building all the time, as you'd expect. Early start on a Friday night here in Perth.
It's a flaw in Longmire's game. That should have been a goal.
This is Pike, still inside the defensive 50. Wide. The target is Heady. Missed the mark. It falls behind. Larkin. Ooh, steal upended. Didn't see McKenna. Gets it away nicely. McGrath to Worsfold. He's at half forward. Too much carry on the kick for Sumich, and Martin gets back and juggles the mark.
There's been a change. Irving is off and Hines is on for the Eagles.
Roberts out of defence, but it's got to come back. It's going right across the ground back to Michael Martin. Scores level at 1 goal, 1 apiece.
He started well, Michael Martin, hasn't he?
He has done well.
Well, he was one of North's best in the opening round game against the Bears at Carrara, and faced an onslaught last week against Essendon. Certainly wasn't their worst player. This free kick coming back to Crocker in between half-back and centre wing. In front of the Lily Marsh stand, they set themselves. Carey over the back, takes the mark. Well, he came from behind, and just with the leap, the height of the leap, got that mark. 60-metre kick to the forward pocket. McCarthy didn't get hands to the ball. Waterman doing well. Lewis. And out of trouble through Hines. Centre wing. Matera dragged down. Gallagher lost it. Heady for the Eagles. Nobody in front. Drives it long, but Martin's in front of Sumich. Martin killing him so far. Should have taken that mark. Chandler backs him up. Hurried left footer. No distance, plenty of height. Crocker. Oh, Heady. Well played.
Some fine young talent down there on display with Heady and Carey taking great marks.
Heady, the 92nd man taken in that 89 draft. A real bargain. Down towards the pocket. Wilson on the lead.
There's Mark Roberts caught out there. He was worried about where Sumich was going, and his man Wilson was the player making the play there. Had a fine pass, and he split them open there, Wilson. Will need to convert.
Any score will give the Eagles the lead here. 7 points apiece. Just under 12 minutes remaining till quarter time. It won't score, at least initially. Roberts gets a fist on it and gets it out of bounds.
He wasn't confident there, Peter Wilson. He looked to Craig Turley and asked Turley, which way do I kick? And asking which way the breeze was going, and he kicked accordingly.
Boundary throw in. Fairley and Langdon. Wilson comes over the top, keen to make amends. Roberts in the traffic. Sets Bargo a task. Worsfold away to Turley, surrounded. Lays it off to Mainwaring. Controlled it well initially, then lost it. Goes back after it. Across to Hines. Hines with some time and space. Intended for Sumich. Martin again. Put his hands to it. Couldn't hang on. Lewis tries to weave some magic. Trying to weave out of trouble was Langdon. Dragged off it. Martin gives it away. Heady, 15 metres out, gets the goal.
Back in the middle, and the Eagles lead by that goal by Heady. Hines takes a huge leap at this one. Gets it down to Worsfold. Hurried left footer. Chopped off by Stevens. Centre half forward, Romero roves the pack. Goes high with the kick, not a great advantage to the team. And easily touched out by Waterman. Well, a low zooming pass was the go, or distance for the goal.
They've got an appetite to play footy tonight, though, North Melbourne. Wayne Schwass, a great shepherd there. He ran about 20 metres to do it. Last week, especially after quarter time, they weren't of a mind to do that.
Brennan knocks for the boundary line. Finds the trainer, who gets his first touch for the season. And a broad grin.
So a throw in inside the attacking 50. Gallagher's in front. Hines will fly from behind. Clean possession to Carey. Did well. Pulls it back towards the kickoff line. Longmire grabbed by Lockyer. And his snap from the pocket is good. Schwass has got the goal.
That should serve them very well.
Could have been holding the ball or a throw. Very close. Congested pack in the middle. North out of trouble. Stevens kicks wide. Schwass runs onto this one. Play on. Free kick was going to North. Centering kick by Schwass. Good tackle applied by Longmire. And another one. Dispossesses Brennan. Longmire doing well. Shuffles it out. McCarthy slaps it towards the goal square. Romero. They're desperate, North Melbourne. Carey. Outnumbered 3-1, Wayne Carey. And the ball and all players out of bounds.
There's no doubt, Drew, that Wayne Shamush would have highlighted their same situation last year. Brought them undone because they lost too many games early. It's a crucial game for them.
Now the umpire's pinged Carey here for a shepherd. He shepherded the ball out of bounds, you reckon. Outnumbered 3-1. It's a bit tough. Waterman takes the kick and close to the boundary line. Throwing.
Just outside the attacking 50 for North. 14 points apiece. Torrid start to this game. Gallagher and Hines. Hines gets it down. Rock out of the congestion. Kicks it across the field. Turley's got it now. Craig Turley releases it nicely. Timed the release. Sends Lewis away. Lewis on centre wing. Barrage running with his back to the goal. Now he's in trouble. Chandler ran him down. Wilson. Wilson about 60 metres from goal. Goes across the ground. Heady and/or Sumich. And Sumich takes the mark. Intelligent kick, that one.
Good play by Turley on the half-back to get that ball free to Lewis, who took his time to give it to someone purposefully. And good effort there by Sumich, who has been very well held by Michael Martin so far.
Sumich. Kick from just on the 50. Distance shouldn't be a problem. It's a massive kick. It's gone through at goalpost height. It's a goal.
Eagles by a goal, and the ground has indeed filled up since the start. Romero gets it out of the middle. Half forward, down goes Rock in Hart's tackle. Oh, Rock's got it for a long time. No whistle. Mainwaring kicks towards the boundary line. He'll be happy to find it. The ball out of play in between half-back and the wing.
Gallagher doing well on the ruck there. That palm to Romero, the centre, was very good.
Hines from behind. Gallagher comes to Turley, though. He goes backwards with his hand pass to Mainwaring. Very high kick. 3 against 3 here. Big punch away by Roberts. Goes to Chandler. Stevens had it spent, lost it. Barrage hooks the ball up in the direction of Sumich. Martin in front, gets a bad bounce, favours Sumich, runs to an open goal and kicks his second. No, he hits the post.
Well, it's interesting he did that, Drew, because a lot of players would have just been happy on their right foot as a left footer that he is, but he tried to get on his left and bend the ball back with a banana. He had Langdon on his right, but I suppose some full forwards are a little bit hungry, not all.
No. Maybe, in hindsight, it should have gone to Langdon. Roberts kicks in, Members side, Scholl. Fine mark at the set. Midway between right half-back and right centre wing.
It's unfair to cop him on the wing, isn't it? Pretty tall.
My word, he's doing well on Mainwaring.
Towards half forward, Carey outnumbered, got it to the ground. Clever by Crocker. Kicks down towards full forward. Longmire fell over. Lockyer got a hand to it. Leads back in the race. Assisted by Pike. And away comes Pike. Bouncing out towards half-back. Kicking towards centre wing. On the lead is Langdon. He's taken the mark. Carl Langdon well up the ground. Is looking for McGrath or Wilson. Wilson drifting in behind. Has it knocked away well by Roberts. And it will be thrown in. Just under 6 minutes till quarter time.
Peter Hines back off the ground. Roberts very high. Straight back out of bounds.
Yes, Irving back on to replace David Hines.
This throw in about 60 metres out from goal. Eagles into attack. Mainwaring. Scholl, can he keep it in? Not quite. And another throw in. Well, Mick Malthouse has really got a defensive side to the Eagles game since he's been here in the season and a bit. And they can make a contest all around the ground. Nobody gets a kick about 40 metres in the clear. It used to happen a bit with the Eagles. Socket off the ground by Stevens. Umpires pinged him for that. You don't often see that paid.
I was going to say, in the context of the way it's been in the last 18 months, I wouldn't have paid that free kick.
Mainwaring's got it. Long down towards the half-forward line. Martin did well again. A timely fist. Steele robbed of the ball by Hetty. Hetty about 35 metres out from goal. Tugs it back. Back goes Roberts. Pushed off the ball. Opportunity now for Wilson. Strong tackle by Chandler. And that's holding the ball. Roberts lays it off to Steele. Steele out of defence towards the outer side. Stevens, a valiant attempt to mark. Matera did well. Knocked it across to Lewis. Now he's away inside 50. Chris Lewis. It's a good-looking kick. It's hit the post. So a pair of posters in the opening term, robbing the Eagles of a bigger lead. It's 8 points. He's not happy.
And Anthony Stevens showing the endeavour of North tonight compared to last week, and we keep referring to it, but as a fact, they certainly look a lot better.
Kick in by Chandler. No mark to Scholl. Martin there to help out. Out on the full. And if the boundary umpire didn't get it, there were 20,000 in the crowd who were going to give him the decision. And yet...
It's come off another foot.
Well, taken by Stevens. Up to centre wing. Schwass. Lamb. He's out. Ball's in. Kick by Lamb is beautiful to Langdon on the 50. He'll be kicking from further out from 50. Whistle test. Won't make it. Sumich. Had a chance, Peter Sumich. Martin with Barrage. Hetty's been starring on the forward line. Comes to Sumich. Well, I don't know whether he sent it or went for goal, but he missed the goal by 30 or 40 metres. Roberts. Oh, kept in by Matera to Wilson. And Wilson with the outside of his foot kicks it behind.
It was clever pace. Sumich actually was trying to bend that ball back again, but going off the inside of his foot rather than the outside and going across the face of goal.
Eagles lead by 9 points. Jeff Chandler to bring it in. And his Spurs, a long time in the reserves. He's carved out a niche in the senior side. Irving comes from behind, pumps it away from Gallagher. It's out of bounds. Dean Irving, an improving player for the Eagles, drifting back towards centre wing. So Feely and Langdon will do the ruck work. Larkin was over the ball. Stevens backhands it out. Turley showed a lot of courage. Romero missed the ball, and fortunately Turley, and Turley's getting the free kick.
Hasn't he been a great player?
Terrific player. Craig Turley across the ground. Back goes Sumich. Almost a good mark. It falls behind. Hetty couldn't control it. Crocker in the grasp. That's holding the ball. Now the umpire says play on. Well, that was a full rotation. Had they been dancing, they would have changed partners.
Very lucky.
Boundary throw in. In fairness, I suppose the ball did come back to him. He tried to get rid of it, but he still had possession. Langdon to Matera. Snaps. It's off target and bounces through for a minor score.
Peter Matera's done some pretty good things too for the Eagles.
Well, these sort of conditions really do suit him, Drew. The dry ground. Plenty of place to run.
Actually, perfect conditions. Whatever breeze might be favouring the Eagles, but there's not much. Schwass, $500 at the tribunal during the week. He didn't get 500. He had to pay over 500. Schwass, oh, what a mark by Scholl. Top mark. Gets rid of his opponent, Mainwaring.
Yes, proving a little too tall for him at the moment, Drew.
Kick by Scholl to half forward. Carey got underneath that one. Comes to Lamb. His left footer on the bounce to Barrage. Good handling. Great play back to Hart. Hart wide for Sumic. One out with Martin. Well, Sumic should have taken the mark. Martin into Roberts. And North out of defence. The kick by Roberts back to centre wing. Irving underneath it, but at the back McKenna.
North's defence is playing very well. McKenna hugs the boundary line. The most elusive forward for the Eagles is this man, Brett Heady. Too far out to score. Centering kick. Sumic again is the target. In close attendance, Martin. It falls behind to be taken by Larkin. 3 times best and fairest at North. Away to Chandler. Hurried kick. Mainwaring almost reversed the roles there, but couldn't hang on over Scholl. Down goes Gallagher. It spills across to Barrett, who scrambles a kick towards half forward. Well controlled by Chandler. Back towards centre wing. Hart got hands to it. It falls behind. Carey overran it. Brennan. Sharp hand pass. Got it across to Lamb. Now McKenna with some time and space near the boundary line proceeds to put it out of bounds on the full. The clock running down to quarter time. 15 seconds remaining. And Scholl to take the kick. He boots in towards centre half forward.
Last chance for North, just seconds remaining. And the Eagles get a free kick, which should effectively end play for this first quarter. Low scoring and hard fought. And there is the siren to signal quarter time here. A 10-point lead to the Eagles, and they lead 3-5-23 to North Melbourne 2-1-13.
3-5 to 2-1. The Eagles dominating the last 15 minutes of that opening term. Plenty of ball. Not translated on the scoreboard. Worsfold out of mid-air. Mainwaring tracking it out towards the outer side boundary line. Scholl in close attendance is out of bounds. This crowd is packed in now. Most vantage points taken. Gallagher's in front. Body to body. Spargo claimed very quickly. Barrett brought him down. And it will be a ball up on the outer side. The umpires tonight. Irving's in front. Knocked on by Worsfold into the path of Turley. It's out of bounds once more.
Well, it'd be a tragedy for North Melbourne if in fact they are down to 18 fit men in the first quarter. If anything, a slight assistance with this breeze in the second term, but well, not much. Langdon taps out. Sumic, rather Matera, up to Sumic. Martin over the top bin, punches away, and it beats Wilson over the boundary line for a throw in the forward pocket.
Michael Martin is very deceptive as a fullback, extremely strong, and he's quicker than you think. And Sumic in those one-on-ones, just not strong enough.
Langdon to go up against Fairley. Lewis feeds away the hand pass towards the edge of the square. North back there in defence. Martin ducked into Langdon, thumps the ball out of there. Lewis and Stevens having a bit of a dip off the ball. Out of defence, Spargo. High kick to centre wing. Irving punches forward for the Eagles. Mainwaring in a bit of trouble with Scholl, and the ball goes out of play.
Well, the Eagles again starting the second term as they played the first, certainly the second half of it. Keeping it on their forward line. North absorbing a lot of pressure at the moment. Pike gives it away. This is Spargo. He's on centre wing. He kicks towards half forward. Giving a contest Carey. It spills behind. Lamb. Nice evasion. Worsfold, though, sold into trouble momentarily. Now releases it. Pike. The defensive side of centre wing. Kicking towards centre half forward. Knocked on by Wilson. He goes after it. Crock has got it. Still Wilson, though. Well played, Wilson. Contested the ball in the air, then found it on the ground. Not a good kick over the head of Turley. Stevens left it behind. Now Turley goes again. Tried a hand pass to Langdon, who wasn't expecting it. Roberts could have been held without it. This is Pike going against the flow. Knocked away by Allison. On the assist there is Chandler. A high floating kick towards centre wing off. Fine mark. Pickering just on the ground.
Liam Pickering included this week. Wide to half forward. Longmire, a long lead, a great mark at full tilt. I think too far out to score. Looking for something in short. Very short that went. It's kicked out about 15 metres from 60 out.
That's tough. It really is, Drews. Cutting in there. Brendan was going forward with the ball. McCarthy had him, but the rule actually says if you are tackled and the ball spills free, it's play on. which it happens here. Knocked out. That should be play on.
Well, John McCarthy a couple of years ago kicked a goal from about 85 metres against the Eagles, so 50 shouldn't bother him on that score. Distance didn't, accuracy did. Behind, away to the left.
Well, he was their chief goal scorer last week with 5, and they're expecting a similar return tonight. Just not getting it at the moment.
Well, considering McCarthy kicked 5 and Carey was absolutely dominant at centre-half forward, and they took a hiding. It was amazing.
Here's the kick in. Crocker in from the side, missed the mark. Turley, very effective, Craig Turley. Got it to Pike. Now Lamb up through the middle. Once again, that contest we've been watching and relishing all night. Sumich and Martin, neither of them could mark that. Steele. Roberts left it behind. Now he's got a spot of bother. Flicks it away towards Stevens. Kept his head well. Well played, North. Not a good kick coming out from Martin, but Spargo is having a good night at half-back. Runs away from Turley. Back to Martin. He's playing with plenty of confidence. Finds Ramiro alongside the centre circle. He plays on. Back to Spargo. Long telling kick into the forward line. Good mark is taken by Longmire.
It's fine teamwork there, Dennis. They did the first thought. They gave the ball off very quickly. When that happens, your opposition is caught off guard a little.
At the WACA ground, the Eagles by just 3 points. North coming back early in the second quarter. Main Waring gets rid of his kick. Good body work. Lets Wilson in. Sumich and Martin, a real highlight so far. Crocker somehow gets it to Stevens. Oh, beautiful play. Stevens out to centre wing. Pickering from behind. Man in front takes the mark.
Yes.
Slow whistle, wasn't it?
Very slow.
Don Pike.
I think the P got stuck.
Well, umpire Vernon's a West Australian. I think he knows Don Pike doesn't take too many overhead marks.
Langdon charges at this. Can't take the mark, but might have given away the free. Advantage played. Comes to Fairley. His kick up to centre wing. Pike crunched down by Carey. Comes to Brennan. He evades a tackle. Gets it away to Worsfold. High kick to half forward. Fairley drops a chest mark. Steele. Crocker. North running it out of defence. Moving the ball on well. Stevens up towards half forward already. Irving lost a boot. Comes to Carey just inside the boundary line. Pickering runs onto it. Sockers forward. Turley over the top. Brennan. One boot, not quite enough for Irving. He's lost it. Carey, plenty of North players here if they can keep it in. But the hand pass was too wide for Allison. Carey didn't need to go that wide.
Some good use of the handball coming through from that half-back line by North to set it up. They've been blocked off well by the Eagles.
Boundary throw in. Irving flicks it behind. Larkin couldn't control it. Turley again. He'll do something constructive. Did, but that sleight of hand was too slick there for Irving. Gallagher across to Pickering. Across his body down towards full forward. Longmire getting some confidence now.
Yes, and almost a fortuitous kick there too, Dennis, but Longmire being in front. Lockyer couldn't get to that, but he held that very well. They're not easy marks to take those as they're dropping down.
Kicking at his second. It's good.
North have hit the front for the first time and lead by 3 points early in the second quarter here at the WACA ground. Irving now with 2 boots. Worsfold. Bouncing ball to half forward. Roberts. Pulled off his hand pass. Goes to Chandler. Wide to Stevens. Quick hands from him, but too high for Scholl. Main Waring bumps out Scholl. Worsfold up to McKenna. Now to Wilson. His kick is not good, but Barrett takes the mark just inside the boundary line. 2 kicks to goal from there. Sumich from behind Martin. Martin had him covered. Soccer off the ground by Crocker after Fairley had a bit of it, and the ball out of play. And actually, North Melbourne's history is sprinkled with some of these heroic feats when they've won games when they've been down. I remember a game at Arden Street, they won with 17 fit men, and they had those for about 3/4 of the game.
Correct. Waits another by a heavy. Schwartz trying to get the kick off. The ball spills across the boundary line. Let's go to John Rogers. John.
Dennis, as well as the injury to Ben Buckley, unfortunately for North Melbourne, number 3 Anthony Rockers had a kick on the right knee. They've strapped the knee. He's tried 3 or 4 times to loosen it up, warm it up to see if he could come back on the ground. At this stage he can't, and North Melbourne look like they're down to 18 fit men.
McKenna's kick goes down towards the pocket. Martin got his fingertips to it. Runs free behind, and that's very careless. Stevens putting it out of bounds on the full. He had some time to take that ball. Still easy from up here. Sumich in the wrong pocket as far as the left foot is concerned. It's been well held so far tonight.
Those words at quarter time are making him look for a pass.
Is he following Sweden in the Davis Cup, or the Eagles have one?
Sumich squares the ball. Mainwaring at that mark. The angle is better. It'll still need a pretty good kick. This to regain the lead for the Eagles if it's a major. Slides across the face. Sumich claims the mark. I thought it came off Heady. Now the umpire is going to pay that one. Well, 2 Eagles up.
I would have agreed with you, Dennis. I thought Heady had first pick at it. But of course, with Sumich being in front there, that's the benefit.
Sumich runs round, hooks, and has goal.
Well, this game promised a top contest, and we're getting that lead swapping in this second quarter. Now the Eagles in front by 3. Gallagher faces Irving. Gallagher wins it. Romero soccers across the ground. After it again. McKenna giving chase. Gets rid of Romero. Sockered forward by Mainwaring and out of bounds. Well, the crowd really finding some voice now and getting behind the Eagles. And on a fine night, with a close contest, you can't ask for anything more. Romero, and pass away. Worsfold fighting hard for it. Umpire comes in and will ball it up. Two skippers there, Larkin and Worsfold in shot. Fairly over his head. Worsfold takes it. Spargo dumped on his head. The umpire will ball it up. It was the football, not his head.
Spargo making his point. He's still on the ground at the umpire. All to no avail. And a fine comeback tonight. Of course, his dad, well known over here, coached West Perth in the late 60s, Bob. And as the ball towards the boundary line, it runs out of bounds. And will be thrown in. Fairley and Langdon. Fairley works his way in front. It falls behind. Turley in trouble. Brilliantly done by Larkin. Scholl, the other side wing, kicks inside the attacking 50. Going back, Pike knocks it away. Brennan's got the run of it. Picked up by Waterman across his body. Floats it around the outer side wing. Nobody touched it. McKenna only as far as Romero. Romero back towards centre half forward. Pickering comes up to meet it. Almost. Couldn't control it. Pike did well in a tight situation. Matera's hand pass was a good one. A probing hand pass. He got it to Lamb. Back to Matera. Out wide it comes to Heady. So they made something out of nothing across half back as Hart runs on down the ground. Sumich brought his man to Hart. Not good football, but Hines, seeing some space, moved into it, and he's taken the mark about 40 metres out from goal.
Yes, in the long term there, Heady took the right option. He had two, as Dennis mentioned, in Sumich and Hart. But then Hines saw the space and made a good lead.
David Hines. It's going to be touch and go. Another poster. Their third.
Well, bad luck for the Eagles. They missed 3 goals by a total of about 10 centimetres. 4-6 to 4-2. Roberts. Straight up the ground. Target was Scholl. Comes down to Heady, who goes backwards to Mainwaring. Beautiful pass to Langdon. And Scholl went for that mark and crashed to the ground, leaving Mainwaring on his own. And he was able to find the time to pinpoint Langdon. Carl Langdon kicking for goal from 50 metres out. Under 12.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Oh, beautiful kick. It's home.
Remaining till half-time. Margin is 10 points again. A lot of jockeying in the centre. To little effect. And they still go after it. Eventually Pickering to Spargo. Puts it towards half forward, and the mark is taken by Larkin. Larkin towards the pocket. Carey. Oh, clever attempt to take the mark. Used his body to shield Pike from it. Couldn't quite hang on, and Pike comes back strongly and ties it up for the Eagles. Good football all around there. So bounce in the pocket. Irving and Gallagher on by the former. Carey running out of space. Adrian Barrich back after a lengthy break in terms of games for the Eagles. He was in good form last week locally for his club side Perth. This is Matera. Kept the ball in front well. Still he goes. Matera, blistering speed. Great chase from Ramiro though. Forced the error. Oh, great stuff, Jose.
Very good chase there.
And behind play, a few North Melbourne players picking on Craig Turley then. McCarthy with the free kick for North. Eagles lead by 10 points midway through the second quarter. Irving in front, drags down a towering mark.
That's exactly what they need him to do to try and block off Carey's supply.
Kick by Irving. Good distance up over centre wing, but fairly uncontested. Takes the mark. Away to Chandler, up from defence. Long to full forward. Longmire tries to shrug off his opponent. And Mainwaring starting to come back into his contest on the wing. Puts it out to the wing. Lewis been pretty quiet. Drops this mark. Comes back to Lewis. Unlucky for Scholl. And Lewis's pass is good to Wilson. And now they're looking to open up the forward line. The lead from Sumic wide. Great lead. And with a beautiful pass. When it works like that, it is pretty to watch.
Might get close from here too.
Peter Sumic kicking from a good 55 metres out. Won't make it. Hines is there with Roberts. Still in. And it's taken away by Crocker. Turley. Goes the short pass to Matera, who marks 65 metres from goal. Not happy about the distance, looking for the short pass. Moves on, but he had to stand his ground, Waterman, and earned that mark. He goes for a further short one and half marks inside 50 and in front of goal.
Very bad marking. Terrible marking.
Well, after North fought back, hit the front, lost the lead, regained it. Now they could find themselves 16 points down. If David Hart can kick this from 50 metres, it's away to the right. And off the hands through for a behind.
Just under 9 minutes remaining till three-quarter time. 5-7 to 4-2. The Eagles lead. Ben Buckley and Anthony Rock off the ground. Buckley won't be back. Some doubt about Rock. As Roberts goes to the outer side. Irving comes over the top. Steele missed the ball. Chandler on the assist. Across his body. It hangs in the air for what must have seemed like an eternity. Eventually Wilson fisted about 20 metres. Missed by Chandler. Another throw-in. North's defence has taken a lot of punishment tonight. The ball has been down there a heck of a lot. It's up to the players in midfield and up forward to do more. Of course, those on the ball. Steele. Mainwaring leads back in the race. Close to the boundary line. Was pushed in the back. And the umpires awarded the free. Chris Mainwaring getting back, as Drew said, into that contest against Craig Scholl out there. And now 50 metres.
It's a penalty against North up the ground, Dennis, inside the 50. Going against Roberts, it appeared, no Martin, for hanging on to Sumic. So cool. For initially against Scholl for coming around as Mainwaring was making ground to his right. But not the case. Sumic down the ground with the ball then.
and this is of makeable distance. He's got 2 already. A kick from about 40 metres out. Sumic. Right across the goal face, out of bounds on the full in the right full forward pocket.
2 goals, 1 and 1 out of bounds for Peter Sumic. Under 7.5 minutes to go to half-time. Roberts kicks in for the Kangaroos. Very high kick. Irving spoils Gallagher. Lewis clever. Heady runs towards the behind post, measures it off and hits the post again. That is poster number 4.
Intelligent play by Chris Lewis, though, and well read by Heady. Good understanding between those 2 players. If ever you want to bet on a bloke to shoot the goal from there, it would be Brett Heady.
North have the numbers out here. Stevens. Oh, he's caught. Closing the gap quickly, Matera.
He gets a free, though, there, Drew, because Matera, in his pace to get there, carried Stevens over the line in the back, so the free kick's paid to that player.
Well, it's 13 scoring shots to 6, but North still right in it. 4 posters by the Eagles. Pickering taken over the boundary line by Worsfold, and we'll have a boundary throw-in. Langdon and Fairley. Wilson over the back. Spargo having a picnic. Centre of the ground. Spargo again. Somehow gets through to Romero. Well, he played it well, Jose. Off to Crocker. His left footer is wide, very wide. McCarthy, a drop short. And Pike had a chance to take that mark. The ball finishes up at
5-8 to 4-2. Just under 6 minutes remaining till half-time. Throw in on North's attacking 50 line. Irving down to Pike, dragged off the kick. Worsfold timed it nicely, got it to Lamb, finds Langdon. Wants his left side, he's away, goes for distance. Woods full forward, but Martin comes up, bounces off his chest, taken by Chandler. Away to Roberts, rebound opportunity now for North. Stevens has the ball at centre-half back. Spears in the pass. Schwass has taken the mark. Alongside the centre circle. Low probing kick into the forward line. Strong mark is taken in front by Brennan.
Not a good kick there by Schwass. Looking for either McCarthy or Longmire. Just didn't have the carry.
Brennan from half back towards centre wing. Langdon's the target. Good strong mark. Fairly in close attendance. Carl Langdon. Look at determination. Feeds it off to Worsfold. A long kick towards half forward. Hines and Roberts. This is Crocker over his head. No doubt heard the voice from Spargo. Spargo bobbing up everywhere, and just as well. One of the few midfielders going for North tonight. Well played by Worsfold. Pickering comes away with it, though. Down towards the 50-metre attacking line for North. 1 bounce and out of bounds.
The 2 respective skippers tonight in Larkin and Worsfold now playing on each other, tending to nullify both efforts there.
Need more from Larkin, don't they?
Yes.
The 2 ruckmen go at it. Gallagher slightly wins. Tries one off the ground. Loses control of it. And it's kicked out of bounds on the bounce for another throw-in.
Similarly, from Larkin, the Eagles need a bit more work from Chris Lewis.
Gallagher to Romero. Hurried kick. Schwass. This one has been pretty quiet. Hasn't quite recaptured the form which won him a Victorian jumper a couple of years ago. Too sure with this one. Wayne Schwass to the edge of the goal square. Longmire got underneath it. Oh, and that's well played. Eagles out of defence. Away goes Don Pike for a bounce. Oh. Over centre wing. Oh! Climbing mark. A sensation by Heady. Heady gets a lead from Sumic. And Langdon there as well. And Langdon marks. Haven't the Eagles moved that beautifully from full back?
Fantastic mark there by Brett Heady. He's such a sure ball handler. Rarely fumbles. Such a crisp mark football that he is. And Langdon also proving a little mobile there for Ian Fairley, with McGrath having gone off early in the first quarter. Just a bit too much run.
Carl Langdon looking for his second goal. 50 metres out. Not this time. Kept in by Sumic. Martin slides a little hand pass across to Roberts. He kicks for Larkin. Worsfold the spoil. Spargo. North free kicker pushing the back, and this will be taken by Pickering.
It goes down towards left half forward. Good kick, well weighted. Crocker didn't have to break stride. And Matera doing a little bit in there. Needs to be careful. Crocker, as you can see, just outside the 50. Not the place to give away 50. Centering kick from Crocker. Lamb knocks it down. Hart couldn't control it. Ramiro on his knees. Some indecision there between two Eagles. Longmire in trouble too, and the umpire decides he'll ball it up. I'm not happy with that. Getting a little angry. Good move by the umpire. Bounces it immediately. Lamb in the grasp. Worsfold missed it. Carey, intelligent hand pass, gets it away, and the kick from Spargo is off target and through for a minor score.
And there's a handball on there too, through Allison running past on his right-hand side. Spargo on his non-favoured left foot. Having a shot would have been a better option to handball through to Allison.
Under 2 minutes to half-time, Waterman kicks in. Irving didn't take the mark, gets it down towards Matera, who runs away from Gallagher, the ruckman, and Matera can take this all the way to half-forward. Spears in the pass. Sumic climbs high. What a mark!
It was good play by Matera because that is a very difficult kick to get rid of at pace like that. He had Hines or Sumic. Sumic getting the jump, that ball just carrying Martin's head. And he didn't have the momentum to get up there, but it's a good controlled mark there.
Well, a couple of times in this quarter, in fact in the last couple of minutes, the movement of the ball by the Eagles has just been spectacular.
Yeah, very sharp.
Peter Sumic should cap it off with a goal. 48 metres out, slams it through.
Ringing now for North as the Eagles skip away 44-27. Bear in mind, of course, the Eagles had a bye last round, so maybe that accounts for them being a shade sluggish to start this game. If that's the case, that's bad news for North. This is Worsfold. Ramiro in trouble. Matera got him. Langdon comes away with it. Kicks it down towards half forward. Heady again. Claims the mark. Just nudged Steele at the appropriate time and has marked about 40 metres out.
He's still got a hand to it, but Heady had first purchase here. Still got in front, left hand from Steele, but Heady having the better purchase.
That's frustrating, isn't it?
Yes, and it's good to see Anthony Rock back on the ground with Swass going off.
Yes, at least Schimmelbusch now has one more option. Can't do much. There's a lack of pace, I think, in defence. It's hurt them in the last 15 minutes or so. And this man has exploited that. Heady has missed to the right-hand side. And that will be the last action of the first half. Half-time at the WACA ground. The West Coast Eagles finishing that first half full of running. 6-9 to 4-3.
Well, North need to do something. Trailing by 3 goals, and a bit lucky it's not more, because it's been 15 scoring shots to 7. Carey charges this one. Irving wins, but gets it to Larkin. Larkin, the first kick for the half for North Melbourne, wide just forward of the wing. Rock, we thought we'd seen the last of him, but he's back. Matera for the Eagles. Round the corner he goes to half forward. Scholl gets back. Langdon spins out of trouble. Did it well, Carl Langdon. 2 against 2 here at full forward. Fairley goes a big punch. Did he find the line? Lewis just couldn't keep it in, and we'll have a throw-in.
There's McGrath back on for the Eagles with Barrage and Himes starting off on the bench. McGrath going to centre half forward.
Familiar territory for North in their defensive area. Again, Roberts. They run it out. Chandler went down. Came to Spargo. Chandler picks himself up. Meantime, the ball comes to centre wing. Allison lays it off. Schwass with some time and space. High. Coming up the ground, McCarthy takes the mark on centre wing. Schwass running away from that position. So McCarthy. They need more from him. Not a good kick. Wobbles it down towards half forward. Irving. Awkward half volley for him. Off the ground, Mainwaring gets it across the line.
McCarthy coming out to centre half forward. He's a little wasted, I thought, in the full forward line. So he's taken over there from Carey, who has gone into the ruck. Roberts is now at centre half back, picking up Langdon. And Scholl has gone on to Brett Heady.
Given that Ross Smith is out of the defence, they've stood up very well so far, but one wonders how long they can hold out. They need some scores at the other end. And they need to get the ball in midfield again. The Eagles dominating in that area. This is Hart. trying to pinpoint the ball. McGrath knocked away by Martin, waiting behind Fairley, and that's an awkward situation. He chips it. It's on a plomb, gets it out of bounds. We've got a throw in.
It's a clever kick.
Langdon and Fairley. McGrath over the top to Hart. Distance with his kick. Lewis, quiet but dangerous anytime he gets it. Wilson over his head. Up towards the goal square. Rushed through by Chandler for a score to the Eagles. Ian Fairley to kick in. Martin gives him the lead. Sumich closes the gap. Martin will need to take this one. He's in trouble. Play on, says the umpire. Well, he did it well by the end. Crocker up to centre wing. Carey leading. Well, that'll be interesting in open spaces. He should run Irving around a bit. And took that mark about 8 metres in front of Irving. Carey to half forward. And a fine mark. Pickering. 60 metres out from goal. Short pass, and Longmire got clear a long way in front. And John Longmire will be kicking for his third from only about 35 to 40 metres. Great to see him back after he missed last week. Back injury sounded pretty bad. This one slides away to the right and goes through for a behind. Longmire 2 goals 2.
Crucial miss there too, Drew. I mean, they really do need to get a kick along here, North. 18-point deficit at half-time. They weren't playing that well.
Pike kicks it into the outer side. Turley, well done by Crocker, showed a lot of courage to come back. Spargo appeared to be grabbed high. Turley comes away with it. He's got the ball on centre wing. He spears it down towards half forward. Heady through his fingertips. Driving the pack is Langdon from right half forward. Goes down towards the pocket. It bounces obligingly for Sumich. Pushed out of it by Martin. Not a mercurial one. Dragged off it. It spills away from him. Socket off the ground. They're out of defence by Stevens to Carey. Carey goes towards half forward. Up in front Pickering. Lamb at close quarters. Sends McKenna away. And he uses the ball well. This is Matera on the outer side wing.
Played a good game, Matera. A bit of pushing and shoving there. And the free kick will go to Turley. Well, advantage paid. It goes off to Hart. And Hart quickly finds the leading Sumich.
And that's where that advantage rule can be dangerous, because Martin was expecting the ball to go back to Turley. Sumich played on. The leg kick came down from Hart, and Martin was caught well out of ground.
Well, Peter Sumich, 3 goals in the first half. Looking to build on that. The Eagles 6 goals 10. Not great kicking. 4 posters in the first hour of play. Sumich got one of those posters. And now he's kicked 4 goals.
So the challenge fairly and squarely with the Kangaroos. We're back in the middle. Spargo has done well. Muro did well as well. Slapped it on. McCarthy kicks it inside 50, and Longmire comes up and takes the mark. And this is the frustrating thing for North. When they move it out of the centre, get forward of centre, start to get some run in midfield, they look dangerous down forward.
Yes, but other than Spargo, they have been terribly inconsistent, the other players, Dennis.
That's right. Longmire from 50. They need a goal. Hasn't got the carry. They contest right on the line. This will be interesting. It's a goal. Not touched. John Longmire gets his third. North Melbourne, a much-needed one. 5-4 to 7-10.
And again, there's no doubt on this ground, getting the ball quickly out of the centre as North did then, and a fine pass, low trajectory, found Longmire in the lead, who took a good mark, I might add. They're very difficult to take like that at that speed, not only with the pace he was running at, but the way the ball was coming to him, and he converted very well.
North still nibbling away. But Lamb takes it out of the middle. Heady couldn't quite take the mark. Comes back to him though. Martin at ground level. Oh, blind hand pass, dangerous. Langdon hooks it in. Gets it to Wilson. He shrugs off Martin. Hand pass doesn't carry. Sumich slaps it out of defence. And North Melbourne lucky to get out of that. Here's Matera. Waterman going past. Spears it in low. On the bounce to Sumich. He goes back, Heady dodges the tackler. One, can't dodge the second one. Off to Sumich, on the turn. Hooked it too far, out of bounds on the full.
Peter Sumich has 4 goals. Weight of opportunities decrease. He must finish with a fair swag tonight, given the supply so far. Most likely ahead. It's Chandler. High up and under. Floats it back towards midfield. Bounces very high in the air. Turley used his body very well. Appeared to be held by McCarthy. Schwass, a hurried kick around the corner. Mainwaring waiting to be tackled that time. Ball spills free. Crocker's got the run of it. Great desperation from Worsfold. In goes Irving. Gets it away to Turley. Most accomplished player. Well done. Brennan from centre wing towards half forward. Lewis out of position. Knocked on intelligently by Lamb into the path of Mainwaring. 50 metres out. Scrambles it down towards full forward. Well played by Fairley. Backed himself against the bouncing ball. Hand passes away. Gathered though by Lewis, who hooks it across his body. Missed the target by quite a margin. And the ball just trickles out of bounds in the pocket.
The margin is 18 points, same as at half-time. Schwass been quiet, needs to lift. Well, Lamb 20 metres in the clear. He's got Turley to the left. Further players up the ground. 2-1 Eagles here. Matera can't take the mark. Comes down with it. Langdon on his own. 40 metres from goal.
North really were caught out there, Drew. McGrath was the one that was looking for the kick coming from Lamb, who actually had read that play very early. Dropped off Ramiro, who's been tagging. And then Langdon got away from both Fairley and Roberts, who were looking at the pack as it formed.
10 possessions to Langdon. Just inside 50. Won't make it off. Sumich with a big climb over the pack but can't mark. And Fairley touches down. We'll have a throw in the forward pocket.
Chris Lewis having his say. Not a rod for their own back, the umpires this year, with that interpretation of out of bounds deliberately. Clever kick from Wilson. Chandler spills it. Chance for the Eagles. Larkin concedes a behind.
It was his only option. He couldn't have come back into play. It would have been terribly dangerous.
Mark Roberts with the ball. Sydney Swans, Brisbane. He's been around. Doing well for North. Over the top, Mainwaring. Flying from behind Schwass gets it out of bounds. Just over 16 minutes remaining till three-quarter time, and the Eagles looking dangerous. North Melbourne clinging. They need to establish something soon. Boundary throw in. Fairley gets it down, but straight to Mainwaring. He runs to 50, settles. Gets back on his natural kicking side. Long but off target. Sumich, it's still in play. Martin robbed him of the ball and hand passes out of bounds. Goes after it. No, it didn't go out. Well done by Michael Martin. Played to the whistle. Good chase from Sumich, but Martin gets the kick off towards midfield. Crocker wants to go. Slips over. Will go out wide looking for Carey. Can he get there in time? No, he can't. Here's the target, but Pike drifting across has taken the mark.
That was a poor kick. Don Pike goes long. Langdon in the chop here. Front down to the front. Oh, it's all the Eagles. Turley, beautiful pass to Lewis.
It all happened because as Crocker had the ball, McCarthy came all the way down from centre half forward to Shepherd, which was probably a little unnecessary. And when Crocker looked forward, there was none there to kick to, apart from the kick being a bad one. And the rebound has found Lewis.
That was his first mark for the game, coming up for his 12th possession, and really should score. And scores a goal.
Just over 14.5 minutes remaining till three-quarter time. Schwass keeps it in front. Larkin and Schwass mess it up initially. Eventually they combine. Schwass kicks it down towards half forward. Mainwaring goes back, takes the mark. He's lifted since the opening term. Swings it out wide. McGrath's the target. Good mark. Runners inside. Waterman on the overlap. Boots inside the attacking 50. Sumich from behind. Forced to spoil. Gets it away. Chandler. Sumich collected him. And the ball's jarred out of bounds. Ferocious tackle by Peter Sumich. Made the spoil. Hit the ground running. And Chandler was standing in his path. Boundary throw in just inside the attacking 50. The Eagles lead 8-11 to 5-4. Hart knocks it on. Turley goes over the top. Still Turley, aided by Lewis. Goal coming up here. No, he's off target. He had plenty of time, Chris Lewis. He's missed to the right-hand side. But those scoring shots tell you something. It's 20-9, and probably that's more a reflection, not the time, it's more a reflection of the way this game's been played.
It's been an onslaught for Michael Martin down there. He kicks in. Allison quiet tonight. Matera, what a mark. Short passes. Langdon. Oh, the Eagles killing them at the moment. Pace on the forward line. And when they've delivered to the forward line, the passes are low and players are just shifting onto the ball so well, almost impossible for the defenders. Langdon's left footer from 50 metres. It's pretty close. It sails home. (9-12 to 5-4).
We were talking at half-time that North, if anything was in their favour, was that a number of their players could lift, as we see that on replay. But by the same token, the Eagles had a few players, as we see Allison go off and Steele come on. Allison has been very unproductive tonight. But the Eagles also had players that could improve, and they're doing that at the moment, and North just haven't got the counter.
Carl Langdon has 2 goals back in the middle as the Eagles slip further away. 66 plays 34. Rucks go at it. Gallagher at the second attempt, worth a kick down towards centre half forward. Ramiro, was he pushed in the back? Not according to the umpire. Rock to Steele. Pulls it across his body down towards the pocket. Lucky got a fist on it. Mainwaring, that had to be holding the ball. His preoccupation was breaking the tackle. Spargo out wide. Schloss has got the run of it. McCarthy intent on shepherding. Schloss running away from his own goal. Well played, McCarthy. A couple of strong shepherds. He was hurt. McCarthy is hurt. Down goes another North Melbourne player. That's Crocker.
Yes, there was a
Pickering is slow to get up as well. Oh. Not much give there. Always dangerous. Meantime, the action goes on. Another North player is down.
This is Craig Turley, who's collected by Michael Brennan. Spargo down.
Oh dear. So in the space of 30 seconds, 3 North players have been really hit hard. The Eagles, the fence, and whatever else. Spargo gets up, and that's encouraging, but he's looking dazed. This game really sparking now.
I'm surprised Crocker came out of his clash with the fence as well as he did. Clean possession, Gallagher. Ramiro. Goal! Now this is all going on after the goal was kicked. The umpire has bounced the ball in the middle. There's about 10 players playing football, and there's a fight on at the other end of the ground, and the Eagles are playing the footy. Sumich takes the mark and will kick for goal. There was some pretty heavy stuff going on, hundreds of metres off the ball.
Just ridiculous. The umpire's instructed the play on to try and break it up, but when it's that number of players involved, they've got to get inside and just tidy it up. Goodness me. You wonder why umpires are in strike and lose control.
Short pass was on to Lewis, and now Chris Lewis will be kicking for his second goal for the quarter.
And of course, the Eagles instigated the blue, and now they've got the advantage.
Lewis coming alive. Floats this one across the face. Is that inside the field of play or behind? Over the behind line for a point. Chris Lewis, 1 goal, 3.
Well, I think the AFL investigators will be looking at that tape and what happened after the goal. Just over 10 minutes remaining till three-quarter time. Roberts kicks in. There's a whistle off the ball.
Yes, against Hines. Sorry, Dennis. Against Hines, against Gallagher it is. So pushing and shoving. No, it's not.
No, I think it was against the man on the mark for the kick in. He was too close, so they've brought it up to the line of the square. There goes the kick from Spargo, who seems to be okay. Brennan going in very strongly, as he always does. This is Hart roving the pack, swings it out wide. Matera, here's his major asset. That's his pace. Steele was closing, met solidly by Wilson. The kick comes in meantime from Matera. Behind the pack, a chance for Stevens. Closing is Lewis. Stevens hits it towards the boundary line. We've got a throw in. Well, it's pretty lively. The The Eagles have a handy lead. 9-13. Play is 6-4.
Wilson tried to take clean possession. Hart at ground level. Back to Heady. Inside 50. Very high. Hasn't got the distance. Wrestle at the edge of the square. Sumich goes down. Oh, the two North players left it for each other. Very hesitant and holding the ball right in front.
Another example of another rule that's been brought in this year was when Martin was all over the top of Sumich. If both players had their eye on the ball and there's interference, the umpires will let it go. Which it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Right in front, Craig Turley kicks for goal. Further buries North.
So the Kangaroos in desperate trouble now. Just under 9 minutes remaining till three-quarter time. 10-13 to 6-4. Tried very hard, North, but just lacking runners in midfield at the present time. Balanced certainly by injury and a late withdrawal, but even so, the ball is squarely in their court. Can they come back? Hines wins it down into the path of Pike. Puts the kick away. Heady drops the mark. Should have held on to that one. Has the poise there to recover. Lays it off to Langdon from 40 metres out. It's close. He just missed to the left-hand side.
He certainly deserved better.
24 scoring shots to 10. Michael Martin won a goal kicking in the under-19s back in 86 with 96. Short passes to Schwartz, a medalist in the under-19s. Fairest and best. Kick to the outer side. Hines takes the mark. Hines from Port Adelaide squares it. Mainwaring has it. Still inside the centre square. Goes looking for Sumich. Juggled attempt. Going over the top was Martin. Well played. Got it away to Spargo. Spargo kicks towards centre wing. Carey. He's drifted out of the game, Carey. Started this term on the ball. He's on centre wing now. He kicks down towards half forward. The Eagles have got the numbers down there. Well done by McCarthy getting a fist on that. He goes back after the ball. He's working hard in that pack, as is David Hart. It spills wide. Taken by Lamb. Quick hands there. Got it away to Waterman.
Yes, they've shown quick hands all over the field tonight. Did he run too far?
Yes. Waterman carried the ball. Was going to handball off and decided against it. In the meantime, it run too far.
Rock up to the 50-metre line. Hines. Well, Schwartz didn't go too hard at that one either. Comes to McKenna. Sweeps the hand pass in. Awkward for Hardy's. Left it behind. Pickering pops one over the top to Schwartz. Back he goes for Larkin. Larkin 55 metres out. A lot of possessions to go nowhere. Steele's lost it. Chandler tries one off the ground. Matera's played a top game tonight for the Eagles. Wilson to Matera. And too much run for Steele. Showed him his number and ran away from him, but then kicked into the man. It comes back to Langdon and back to Pike. Sumich almost. Oh, you're holding it. He's over the ball and holding it. Michael Martin.
Things just work in the Eagles' favour too. They're getting the run of the ball as it's spilling free from contests. Sumich nearly the mark here, but Martin certainly caught holding the ball. Just sat over it.
Martin hurt his knee too in that exchange.
Well, he has had a crook knee, so let's hope he's okay. North certainly don't have the replacements.
Peter Sumich kicked 5 goals in each of his first 2 games this season. And now to bring up a hat-trick with another 5. Raking left foot kick, but way off to the left. And out of bounds on the full. So he's kicked 4 goals, 1, which was a poster, and 3 out of bounds.
Certainly no excuse either, because there's no breeze.
Ian Fairley in the back pocket. Members side with the kick. Uncontested, Don Pike. He's played pretty well tonight. Much maligned player doing his job. 10 possessions. He's played quite often tonight in defence. A long kick, big pack. Great Mark Lewis.
Gee, he looks as though he's going to get caught up in that pack, Dennis, but he just stood his ground and read it well. With the flyer was McGrath, but almost Royce Hartish. Did Lewis come in from the left side? And what a beautiful mark. One grab. Yep. Very clean. Lewis, point blank range, puts it through for another one.
Eagles 5 goals, 5 in this quarter, and North Melbourne have kicked 2 goals, 1. Carey charges at Hines, who didn't have eyes on the ball, and his free kick for it.
To Adelaide boys.
It's not unusual to see an Adelaide player come up against an Adelaide player in the AFL. There's so many of them. Kick by Hines to half forward. They're all standing around watching it. Roberts couldn't take clean possession. Hacked off the ground by Chandler. Main Waring. Well, North Melbourne finding it hard to get into these contests. Kick by Main Waring. Lewis stays behind this time. Punch down to the front. Rock a lightning hand pass. And Scholl sees the ball over the boundary line for a throw-in.
The problem that North have is they don't really have an alternative to try and spark them. With only the one ruckman in Gallagher, they've been using Carey in this quarter in the ruck, which takes away their effectiveness in attack.
If they still had Mark Lyle, they could have Gallagher and Lyle in the ruck. Need to be a music buff for that one.
Here's the throw-in. Goes towards the goals. Sumich tried to go off the ground. And again, they've got a whistle. So ball up. Plenty of hard work for a little return. This bounce about 5 metres out, perhaps a little further. And the Eagles attacking goal. North concede a behind. Big weekend of sport coming up for people in Western Australia. Footy tonight, and of course basketball tomorrow night, with the Wildcats beginning their NBL defence. Local fans loving that. Footy and basketball back to back. Personally, I'm missing that Ansett flight. I think I've become addicted. Ball goes on the outer side, and the mark is taken by Fairley. Fairley from half back towards centre wing. Good mark taken by Hines in front. Just over 3 minutes remaining in this third term. Here's Matera, loves a run, slipped over. Outside 50, screws it back, and that's a clever mark. Sumich in front. Martin was only half a stride away, but nothing he could do about that.
Not at all. And they're almost in the borderline, the Eagles, of flirting with their form. Matera, they're just going to do a little bit extra. They're getting away with it because their players are in good quality form. And for 13 kicks for a full forward in the third quarter, it's been a good effort, even though I think Martin has done a very good job.
Yes, that's the tragedy for Michael Martin. Sumich is likely to finish with, well, who knows, half a dozen or so, kicking at his fifth right here. And that's home. The Eagles go further in front. West Coast 12-15, North Melbourne is 6-4.
Wayne Shaw was just faced with that problem of, as soon as he plugs one gap, cuts one player of the contest for a while, another one bobs up. Matera has been quite lively all night. That's a very good mark to Sumich. One of the few times, in fact, he's been in front of Martin.
Two and a half minutes remaining to three-quarter time, and it's a 47-point lead after it had been just 18 at half-time. So really blown it wide open in this third quarter. Schwass for North Melbourne to half forward. Rock with Hart. Allison didn't look fit. He really ducked the head and bent the head after that one. Had no hope of getting to it. And whipped out of defence by Michael Brennan. Langdon. Brennan kept going. Already to half forward. Lewis with the sit. Oh, great play. He slaps it out wide. Eddie lost control of it. Hacked out of there by Stevens. Rock in front takes the mark. Longmire the only chance. Kick didn't carry. Seen over the boundary line by Lockyer. Well, there's a publication in Melbourne asked a panel of experts, I think you might have been one of them, Dennis, to name the up-and-coming team for 91. I think 12 out of 15 said North Melbourne. At this stage, those 12 experts would be a bit disappointed because North really not living up to their pre-season Foster's Cup form at all.
So, Drew, you're saying he's a poor judge?
I can't remember whether he was one of the 12.
I think I was, actually. It's interesting, though, because when you think back to last year, they played to their capacity in the run home. And there was always the danger, if they didn't give 101%, this could happen.
Well, they won 10 of their last 13 games, North.
Hart goes backwards. Turley goes 15 metres. McKenna goes over the top. And look at the Eagles getting this out of defence. Waterman back to McKenna. Back to Waterman. Just running rings around North at the moment. The kick to the forward line didn't quite carry to Wilson. And Roberts gets a biff, and I think Wilson's going in the book.
Well, if that's a free kick, then there's got to be a reason for the free kick. He was taken high, so he's been accused of striking with the right hand, I would think.
Silly, isn't it, when you lead by a mile? 47 points late in the third
Well, the
quarter.
kick was intended for him. It didn't quite have the carry. He was at full tilt. Roberts read it very well, backed himself, and it was really a little unnecessary.
Looks like Chandler will take the kick. He's up towards half-back. So North, disappointing certainly last Saturday against Essendon. I've harped on that a bit tonight, but not so much expected of them, not only going to that game, but as we've said, in the long haul this season. And tonight coming on top of last Saturday, they've got some stock taking to do. Despite their problems with personnel tonight, there's Lewis on the outer side, pulling it back. Mark missed by a player who really didn't go at the ball all that strongly. Away comes Lamb, down towards the pocket. Going back is Sumic, keeps it in front, and they've got the numbers 2-on-1. Sumic snaps, and that's good. No names, no back rule on the outer side. 12-15 becomes 13-15, and this game is becoming a procession.
Yes, a three-quarter effort at the ball there just made it so difficult. And the finish off, the resultant goal, is terribly disappointing. But a good kick, but nonetheless by Peter Sumic.
Well, that's 6 for the game and 3 this quarter for Peter Sumic. And if he plays all games this year and keeps on this average, he'll kick a ton. Hines with a big charge at Carey and wins it. Oh, Turley, a decisive hand pass back to Lamb. Up towards half forward. Wilson meeting the sandwich. Oh, Turley kept on going. Found Heady. Off to Lewis. Lewis goes bang for goal. It comes back and through for full points. So Sumic just kicked 3 this quarter, and so has Lewis.
Yes, he's squared his ledger now, but what fine play by Craig Turley. He was the player who instigated that play. He's hard running. Not only has he cut out the effectiveness of Paul Spargo, he's also done very well himself.
And the siren sounds for three-quarter time. What a term for the Eagles. They lead 14-15, 99 to North 6-4, 40.
The start of the final term at the WACA ground then. 14-15 plays 6-4. Powerhouse third term from the West Coast Eagles, much to the delight of the local fans. Rock gets a hand pass away, fairly. Straight to Mainwaring on the outer side, who was aware of McCarthy bearing down. McCarthy stands the mark. Mainwaring put on an angle on centre wing. Kicks towards half forward. Fairley comes over the top. Chandler, hurried kick out of the congestion. Mainwaring again, took his eye off the ball. Claimed by Schwartz, ball jarred free. Hines has got it. Waterman floats one down towards half forward. Well played Chandler, timely fist. Schwartz, another very high kick. Up comes Romero, couldn't control it. Steele goes at the ball. Turley, eyes only for the ball, kept it going the Eagles' way. McGrath to Matera. Matera from 45 metres out. It's going to be another one.
After that little pause, 105 plays 40, and their percentage of 235 doesn't look like take much of a dent here tonight. Gallagher couldn't clear the pack. Wilson reported in the third quarter. His left footer towards Heady, working from behind. Oh, it's punched forward brilliantly. Barrich, then barreled, and he runs out of room.
Good tackle there by Jeff Chandler. Good persistence.
Boundary throw in. Fairley and McGrath will do the rucking. Still out crowd. Just before half-time in excess of 25,000 at the ground. Lewis put it away smartly to Worsfold. Back to Lewis. Surrounded by North Melbourne jumpers. Fairley dragged off it. Here's Lewis again. Gives it away. Turley goes in short. Intended for Hart. David Hart, 25 metres out, as easy as you like. Well, Lewis was playing against 4 of them. That was the end result.
Yes, and David Hart back into his side as the Eagles kicked their 16th goal and did it pretty easily with Lewis doing some of the fancy work there. But Turley, as ever, very steady, had a hand in that as well. Cool, spotted Hart, and he'd have a lot of trouble getting through with a good shepherd coming from Heady to assist.
Well, last week, North's little blokes were tagged out of it. Tonight, they've just been run off their legs. Here go the Eagles again. Hines, inside half forward. Martin charged straight at it. Didn't keep going for him, though. Barrage is there. Umpire will ball it up. But so many of the North players just well, taken leave without absence. Swass very quiet, not much from skipper Matthew Larkin. Here go the Eagles again. Sumic, hand pass blocked by Stevens. The ball out again.
Very impressive tonight, the Eagles. We've talked about North Melbourne shortcomings, but the Eagles, by the same token, have done very nicely. Their aggression off the ball. Just making a beeline for someone who's putting heat on one of their players. Body goes in from Barrich that time. Romero can't keep it in play, and it will be thrown in. The little things, I'm sure, delighting Michael Malthouse in his second season. They have become a case-hardened unit, this West Coast Eagles team. And certainly in Perth, they're going to be very tough to toss. Against Collingwood, a couple of weeks back, they showed great form there too. Espargo gets another kick. He's tried his heart out to the outer side. Hart goes over the top and gets it out of bounds with intent. Scoring the percentages.
Quite a few boos on the outer side. It's for Mark Roberts, you see there on the boundary line, ready to come back on. The crowd accusing him of perhaps faking a little. But I'm sure he's had his nose rearranged.
Gallagher deflects it down. Romero keeps it in front, aided by Larkin, who's been very quiet in the second half. In fact, for the night, Rock deflects it across to Crocker in all sorts of trouble. Scrambles a kick forward down towards the half forward line. Carey couldn't control it, neither could Schwass. Down goes Pickering. That'll be holding the ball. Well, it was a flurry of arms. I'm not sure he was trying too hard to get it out.
It's be a worry for coach Wayne Schimmelbusch. Even when they got the points in the opening round against the Brisbane Bears, they were less than spectacular. And McCarthy goes across the half forward line. Scholl on the turn, won't make the distance. Fairley, the only chance. Beats Larkin out of bounds. And up in Brisbane, Wayne Schimmelbusch interviewed after the game, said the humidity up there really sapped the energy of the players and they could hardly breathe. Well, this is perfect here tonight and they don't look as though they've got too much energy. Gallagher, great palm down. Fairley hits the post.
Well, perhaps it's their turn.
Well, it's been a four-post tonight for the Eagles, but they certainly haven't been sleeping. There's the first for North Melbourne. Here's Andrew Lockyer to bring it in. Goes short. Hart just drifting into open space. The defensive side of half-back still. Plays on by a hand to Waterman. Goes long towards the middle. Heady goes up. Didn't touch the ball. It falls behind. Opportunity for Wilson to Main Waring. He runs towards half forward, goes looking for Lewis, wide of the mark with the kick. Chandler, who's tried hard, left the ball behind that time. Lewis, a look away handball if you don't mind. Lamb pulls it back towards the kickoff line. Going back is Barrich. It was knocked away initially by Allison. Barrich is pushed off the kick. Fingertip of Sumic.
That's a great mark.
Terrific.
Great play by Lewis on the flank there. Chandler had perhaps the better chance to get the ball, but Lewis's body work, the ball coming just cleanly to him. Barrich trying to get a kick away to centre. What's his snap by Sumic? Picked that up beautifully. He's a fine cricketer as well.
Yep.
I wouldn't doubt that would have helped him. But 15 kicks and 8 marks at full forward, plus, I don't mind, 6 goals. Good effort.
I've got the 7th written down.
Could fix him. Sumic has got it. No trouble at all. 7 goals to Peter Sumic.
Not so much the forward work of the Eagles. Sumic 7 goals. Their defence. They conceded only 2 goals to Melbourne, their first game at home this season. 6 goals here tonight to North Melbourne. And you build up big percentages by keeping the opposition to low scores. Real Malthouse trademark. Tightening up the defence, well, rock-solid defence. And here they go. When they've got the ball, they look spectacular. And doesn't happen too often tonight when North have had it, but the Eagles just bottle them right up. Lamb takes the free kick to half forward. Good mark to Barrett. Well, they're really running a 20-man unit, interchanging off the bench. Back to Lamb, to full forward. Lewis.
Clever play there too to handball the ball off to Lamb, as the left footer had the play in front of him. Sumich was leading wide to the right-hand pocket. He centred the ball more directly and found Lewis.
And looking for his 4th goal, all after half-time. No problems.
Back in the middle. Rucks go at it again. North haven't made too many changes. Spargo hit around the face as he kicked that one, and it will come back to him. Well, he's been out of football a long time. We've shown the others tonight. He's been the one midfielder who's had a go from the outset. 22 possessions, not bad. The side that's been thrashed. He plays on, runs around Turley, goes long down towards full forward, off hands. 3 Eagles queued up for that one. A rather untidy hand pass from Worsfold. Brennan's got it. Puts it across his body, and Matera takes the mark hard against the boundary line. You talk about challenges. Think about Graham Corns tonight. About watching this game. He's got Essendon at Windy Hill tomorrow. Crows go there for the first time, and then 9 days' time they're at Subiaco Oval against the West Coast Eagles. So the next 9 days is going to be a telling time for the Adelaide Crows, new in the competition and earning everybody's respect so far. 18-15 to 6-5 here at the WACA ground. Stevens going nowhere. Pickering goes to ground, shovels it out. Stevens has got it.
Kick by Stevens to half forward. Carey. Oh, shadow of the player he was last week.
So again, it's indicative of the lack of opportunities had, and the runners come out to Paul Spargo, and he's been pushed down to a forward pocket, relieved of some of that workload. Just lacking a bit of fitness at the moment, but he's certainly held his head high.
Lyons comes back to Gallagher. Well, the Eagles have the numbers. Taken away by McKenna. Off to Lamb, now to Hart. Hart runs it up to the forward line, puts it out in front of Sumich. Wilson gets in the way, doesn't mark. And he throws the ball away. That's holding the ball. The ball's gone out of play. Well, we call for a throw.
So I think, in fact, he might have got a quick handball away there, Drew, just to give himself a chance to perhaps be tackled and get a free kick, or break that tackle and go back onto the footy.
Well, once again, another chance for the Eagles. Pickering swamped. Look at the tackling here and holding the ball. And a free kick to McKenna inside 50.
He's been quiet tonight.
That's indicative of how they've gone too, Dennis, isn't it? I mean, Lewis was quite early. He certainly bobbed up later on. They're quality players. They've had a lot to do. And there's a North player down in the square.
And something's gone on here, and it's to be a North free kick. They've lost the ball.
Jeff Chandler's the player in the spot of bother.
So all of a sudden the Eagles have to man up when they were thinking of kicking for goal. Martin pops one over the top to Schwass. Kick by Schwass in the direction of Carey. Can't take the mark. Longmire. Carey off the ground. Slices it out of bounds on the bounce.
Wayne Carey started well. He's drifted out of the game. Boundary throw in. Gallagher and Hines. Gallagher easily in front. Spargo lets it run out of bounds, fairly up against the fence.
Just wondering, for a match between the Adelaide Crows and the Eagles, do they give a Simpson medal for that? State game?
It'll be interesting to see how it's accepted. I'm sure there'll be a big crowd. We saw Darren Steele scratching his head on the boundary line, that sort of night. He turns 25 tomorrow. Won't be celebrating too much. Behind scored by North. 6-6 to 18-15. So since half-time, they've added 2-3 North Melbourne. While being overrun by the Eagles, McCarthy got a fist on that one. There's Turley deep in his own defensive area.
Craig Turley, a very polished display again. North try to keep it in and gain ground, but out of bounds it goes. 6 goals for North Melbourne. They have managed just 2 behinds in this last quarter. And the Eagles have just gone on their merry way.
Jeff Chandler is off. Darren Steele coming on.
4 goals straight, the Eagles this term. Bain Waring grabbed by Schwass. Another throw in. Chandler not looking too good. Certainly not too many options when the playing staff is down to the bare minimum. Gallagher, a good palm down to McCarthy, who gets it through the pack. Brennan just up from defence, having a bit of a gallop, enjoying himself. Bouncing ball for Heady. Paddles it till it comes up for him. Cornered by Crocker. Short pass is ill-directed and taken by Pickering. Centre wing. Scholl takes the mark. Longmire leads, gets underneath the ball. Lockyer has some backup support from Worsfold. Ball goes out and we'll have a throw-in.
Don Marsden from the WACA ground just popping in to tell us the crowd estimated at 28,000. No official figure, but he seems to think it will be a record. Disappointing then for all the fans who turned out tonight. Fairley's kick smothered by Hines. Pike gets it away to Turley. Turley chips it out wide and the mark is taken by Heady. Very busy when it counted early in the game. Drifted in and out since half-time. Adding possessions to Heady. Long down towards half forward. McGrath's in front, got his fingertips to it. Larkin waits behind. Sends play back towards North's half forward line. McCarthy could have been interfered with, bounced off his chest. Now he's got it. Feigns the hand pass, taken high as he kicked. Goes inside the attacking 50. Fairley was the target. Turley mopping up for the Eagles in the grasp, gets the hand away. Lamb kicks it towards centre wing and Pike. Well shepherded by Heady. Pike towards half forward. Wilson, clever, used his body on Stevens as the ball left the boot and gained about 5 metres. And then strong arm Stevens out of the way, runs to 50, pulls it back, intended for Sumich. A timely arm on that one from Martin, and Allison proceeds to kick it across the boundary line. Not much doubting that. Well, he was running that way, but I suppose even in the good old days last year.
and given that he's a left foot, he could have done a lot better with that.
Peter Sumich. What a night. 16 kicks, 8 marks, 7 goals. Going for number 8. It's close. Misses to the near side.
Certainly could be looking to improve on his record.
Allison, a very quiet player. I think back to last year in Sydney, how Allison and Longmire started for New South Wales up in Sydney.
Quite right.
Here's Martin around the outer side. Peter Sumich has joined Jason Dunstall on 17 goals, leading the way. The AFL, this is McCarthy on the outer side. Inside to Rock. He's not 100%. He kicks inside the attacking 50. Lockyer got a fist on it. Leads back in the race, but not required. Worsfold comes up. Hand passes wide to accommodate the run of Turley, who's confronted by Scholl, and the ball crosses the boundary line for a throw-in. 18-16 to 6-6. Just over 10 minutes remaining in the game. The West Coast Eagles firmly entrenched now at the top of the AFL ladder. Pickering across his body. Awkward bounce for everybody down there. Longmire had the right idea. And Lockyer goes towards the boundary line and the umpire knocks him off for that. Well, I heard my say last Saturday about how they're interpreting this rule and holding the ball. I don't like either of them, but it matters not. Carey's got the ball and will kick from about 50. A real judgment call required of umpires. I'm not sure we should be doing that sort of thing. The areas are getting grayer and grayer. Carey, it's a good effort from there. Just misses to the near side.
That's certainly the downfall of the game, isn't it, Dennis? When you have rules that are open to interpretation, yours is different to mine is to Drew's.
They've got to be
blunt. Exactly right. And of course the umpires are becoming, or made to be almost robotic, which is wrong.
Short pass in, Waterman. North still goalless in this last quarter, just 3 behind. Here's Turley. Well done by Scholl, but it comes back to Turley, and he steers the pass up to Heady, just inside the line, but too wide, and a boundary throw in near the 50. 124 to 43, and North in grave danger of losing by a century, which is pretty hard to do at night. Out of defence. Irving climbs all over Gallagher. Brennan up the ground. And it goes out forward of the wing. Actually, the only reason it's usually hard at night is the conditions. Sometimes a dew. Often in Perth, the Friday night game has been wet. But I don't think we've ever had more perfect conditions for a Friday night here. And North Melbourne should really have been able to manage more than 6 goals. McGrath looking for Sumich. Heady almost rocked back there in defence for North. Larkin. Well, he took it well. The oncoming player Matera could have cleaned him up, but didn't.
Larkin from half-back. Lamb's in front, has it knocked away. Well done by Stevens, controlled the ball, socket off the ground by Carey. Comes McCarthy under the pump. Pickering controls it well in a tight situation, but all his teammates left him. Waterman did nicely, put it across to McKenna, who broadens the attack and gives it in turn to Mainwaring, who spears the pass out wide. Well-weighted kick, what a beauty. Sumich, that was centimetre perfect, there we say.
Yes, well, you said it often, but quite right. Yes, a fine pass from Mainwaring, one of his better ones. Plenty of time to do it and deliver well.
So Sumich, a chance to go in front, at least in the short term. And the goal-kicking ladder here. And post his 8th. Kicks from 49 metres. Distance won't be a problem. That's a beauty. Well in swinger. Just missed. Broad smile from the goal umpire. In turn, Sumich. Those Eagles clapping down there. Too much of a good thing.
Kick by Allison. Schwass. His grandfather played rugby for the All Blacks. Up towards centre wing. McCarthy. Irving at the back.
No one's going to say he didn't.
Take it as read. Round the corner. Carey. Lamb gets back there. Worsfold gains some ground. The ball goes out of play.
Yes, and that's the sort of player, the Swash Allison types, who are very quick over the ground and good skilled players that are supposing to make North the threatening side of the 90s. Once they're nullified, they certainly lack anything else.
Gallagher to Larkin. Just gets his kick away. And out of bounds again. Just over 6 minutes remaining in this game. 125 plays 43. And the Eagles, already on top of the ladder before tonight, will cement their spot there and probably improve on their percentage.
Here's the throw in. McCarthy flew from behind. Mainwaring had it smothered. The Eagles work it out of the congestion again off the ground. Rock in trouble. Mainwaring dragged off it, but not before he got it to Hart. Lamb. Much as they like at the moment. This is Pike. Across the ground. Will bounce on the centre wicket area, and as a result go pretty high. Crocker judged it best. His hand pass, though, was more in hope than anything else. It came to Ramiro alongside the centre circle. Finds Carey. Wasn't a good kick, but hit him on the chest. Scholl from 50 metres out. Could have run another 10, but not required. That's a good kick.
It's so cool. It's so...
Well, you know you've taken a flogging when you kick your first goal for the quarter deep into that quarter and they give you the Bronx cheer. Rock out of the middle. Good distance with that kick, actually. Almost a mark to fairly. And it comes through. Spargo shoots for goal, and North have kicked 2 in a minute.
Tells you something else, too. The sting's gone out of the game.
Yes, it certainly has. One thing that Mick Malthouse said, as John Rogers said at three-quarter time, was that he emphasised to his players, if we watch the replay again, that he wants them to try and really bury North Melbourne, because with the new system under the match ratio, if sides are locked together on points, percentage is certainly very, very crucial. And that's what he'll be looking for, particularly later in the year when they need that percentage.
$70 points the margin. Just under 5 minutes till full time. Irving down. Wilson under report. Swings it out wide. Mainwaring leads in the race out there. McCarthy has bustled hard tonight, but to little effect. Pickering claimed off the ground. Stevens. Wilson. Little shimmy. Missed by Stevens.
The coach.
Gallagher.
That's his brother.
Schwass goes down towards the 50. Horsfall, good mark, good spring there. Here's Lamb. Sets Irving a task. He's equal to it inside the centre square. Probing kick down towards half forward. Great mark, heading. Terrific mark. There's Soccer goalie going up to protect the top left-hand corner of the net. He raked it in. Short one is on. Sumich. Frustration showing there. Martin. The mark had been completed. He was reaching in, looking to punch it away. He started so well, Michael Martin, but weight of numbers has killed him.
And Brett Headley's certainly not suffering any second-year blues.
So Sumich at his 8th. He's something of a night specialist too. Some great games on the whacker. Back to a Footscray match when he started. I think he kicked 6 or 7 in the first term. That's an interesting kick. It's a behind. Not his best.
A couple of misses in this last quarter. Just over 3 minutes to go. Allison back in the back pocket for North. Up short of the wing. Gallagher. Well, it used to be a long trip home from Geelong when you lost, but it's a hell of a long way back from Perth. Brennan. Barrage gets rid of Gallagher. And off the ground, Brennan. Bouncing ball for Mainwaring. 70 metres from goal. Well, he tried to kick it 90 metres out of bounds on the full. You reckon his disposal lets him down a bit, don't you?
It has been mentioned on occasion. 3 years. With Dean Irving off and David Hines back on again.
Steele, he's had a couple of spells on the bench. Pretty poor night for him. McGrath slides across the hand pass. Eagles losing ground, but kick across half forward, almost there to Sumich. Comes off to Heady. It'll finish up with Sumich, but he gives it away to Matera. Matera goes for the goal. Good effort.
To the back, I think.
Yes, it's coming back. Yes, a desperate effort there by, I think it's Craig Scholl, is it? Yes, Craig Scholl pushing Matera in the back as he got rid of it. Done by Grant Vernon there, judging too late.
Well, North have got Melbourne next Saturday, so that's going to be a very important game for them, and depending on what happens to Melbourne over the weekend, or even if Melbourne win. And Melbourne have got their problems too. So even at this early stage, North right under the microscope.
Tipped by so many people to be in the finals this year, especially with a final 6. Long way off it at this stage. And that kick across the face of goals for a behind.
And naturally enough, with that sort of a performance and with the way the merger talk is, of course, North now with their last couple of games will again be the subject of merging.
Yes, you lose a game and you get merged. There's Martin to kick it in. Short one.
Well, they've been submerged tonight.
This is Stevens in the pocket. The 18th man taken in the 88 draft from Shepparton. Not one of his best efforts either. McGrath, was he held without it? Not according to the umpire. Wilson got it to Mainwaring. To McKenna. Can the Tagger kick a goal? No, he can't. He wobbles it out of bounds in the opposite pocket.
Interesting, isn't it, with a fellow like Guy McKenna, who's such a deft disposer of the ball, either with hand or foot, but in shooting for goal, he's just a touch nervy.
Here's Martin. Be a little nervy after tonight too. Got the jitters. Out of the back pocket comes Member's side with a kick. Gallagher's in front. Hines from behind gets a fist on it. Allison on centre wing.
Being run down by Barrage. Didn't do much to get rid of that. Comes to Rock, who goes out wide. Scholl limping, limps into the mark. Puts it to centre half forward. Longmire into the back of his opponent. Fairley's hand pass is blocked. Well, the defenders haven't had to do really very much at all, but Worsfold did that perfectly. Hines, and a fine mark taken by Pickering at half back. Siren coming up to end the misery for North. A huge victory to the Eagles, 18-19, 127. North Melbourne 8-7, 55.
Well, Mick Malthouse would be happy with that, as he often says, one victory is as good as any victory, and the Eagles will now sit well and truly on the top of the ladder with that victory over North Melbourne and beaten the Hoodoo too, the first victory over the Kangaroos under lights. Stay with us tomorrow for more AFL football, our match of the day tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock. Hope you can join us then.